Well, let's get started. Hey horror freaks, welcome back to my channel. My name is Amanda. If this is your first time here, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon so you can get a notification every single time that I post a video, and I post every single week. As you can see on the title, on today's video, I'm going to be giving you my full review, spoiler-free, of this series Midnight Mass. Now, I am used to do my reviews with spoilers, but just for this time, I'm going to do a spoiler-free because the reality is that I don't want to spoil anything. This is a must watch that you need to go without knowing nothing. Like seriously, don't watch any spoilers because it's going to ruin the whole experience. So basically that's the only disclaimer here. Still, I'm going to have my review posted on my blog. It's going to be on the description box down below. So giving that little talk here, let's get into the video. Now, Midnight Mass is an American supernatural horror streaming television miniseries that is created and directed by Mike Flanagan for Netflix. Now, this name may sound familiar to you because Mike Flanagan is the creator and director of The Haunting of Hill House and The Haunting of Bly Manor, and he's also the director of Dr. Sleep, Hush, and Oculus, for just to say a few. So of course he has done some pretty good horror movies and series, so we are back with a good one. That's the first thing. Seriously, everything that you have read good about this series, it's true. Now the whole plot about Midnight Mass is that this tells a tale of a small isolated Iceland community whose existing divisions are amplified by the return of a disgraced young man and the arrival of a charismatic priest. When Father's full appearance on Crooked Island coincides with unexplained and seemingly miraculous events, a renewed religious fervor takes hold of the community, but does these miracles come at a price? Now, given that plot, of course, we can expect something of to do with religion, that's pretty obvious, but I was expecting a little bit more on the ghost story side just because I was kind of used to Haunting of Hill House and Bly Manor format, which in case that you haven't watched them, you should. They're completely good. A fun thing is that when you're watching them, please look carefully for things on the background. When something is happening, you're going to take me for that later in case that you haven't watched it. So, but of course this one wasn't the case. Now, Midnight Mass is a whole nother thing, but in horror. But the thing is that if you have watched those first and you're thinking that this is going to be on the same vibe, not going to be precisely. Now, I am not saying that this is not scary or horror by any means, but it's not the same. Like the tension and spooky things that happen, they don't go at the level. Maybe things like The Haunting of Hill House, where basically ghosts are jumping and things are. This actually the scariest one. It's because Bly Manor, it's more on the sentimental side, but this one still, it does have some ghosts and creatures, but it's that much as Haunting of Hill House. Now basically, of course, there's a creature. I don't want to reveal exactly what it is because it's going to ruin the whole thing, but there is also a ghost. Of course, I don't want to also tell you a little bit of that because I'm not going to ruin it. Now, when it comes to the characters, I think that the whole cast did an amazing job. Part of the cast includes Kate Siegel, which we have seen in other Mike Flanagan projects, and also we have Zach Gilford, that is going basically to be the protagonist of the story as Riley. Now, the whole beginning of the story basically is that he had a really bad moment of his life, so he ended in prison, and 4 years later then we start with the whole story on Crooked Island when he returns, because that's where his family is. Now, Crooked Island, like it said, is a really isolated island, only like 127 something, I think that is the population. Like there's really a small community. It's the type of thing where people know each other really well ever since basically they have been living together in these lives, and they're also pretty religious. So of course they're not the type of persons that really cope with change. But like I said on the plot, a mysterious priest appears because the Monsignor that is supposed to be like doing all the religious things and taking out the church, he was on a trip and he's also sick. He has dementia. So the priest comes and says that he's going to be treated on the main island, but that he's okay and everything, but that he's going to be taking his place for just a few weeks until the Monsignor gets better. But as soon as the priest comes to the island, some things start to happen. Like basically there appear some cats dead on the beach, and some disappearance and things are going to happen, and also some miracles. Now this is not a spoiler because it appears on the trailer. We have a girl that is on a wheelchair and she starts walking. Of course we have this community that is looking at this priest and doing miracles, so of course the devotion is growing. I think that this series does a well job on touching the religion subject because it shows that different types of religious people. We have the woman, which it's for me the most hated character. That, oh my god, that woman! I hated her as much as I hate Umbridge from Harry Potter. Oh my god, I hated the woman. She is like almost a fanatic. She's the one that used to help the seniors, so she's always in church. She's always sticking her nose in everything. She has an opinion for everything. She believes that she knows everything. Oh my god, seriously, the worst type of person that if you know them, like in real person, you're going to want to punch them. So of course she says first, like, for example, he wears just like a regular, you know, the robes that the priests use, but it's with gold. And she's like, where's the green one? Because that one is for special occasions and it's not a special. And like, oh my god. Oh god, seriously, like, just let the man live. He wasn't able to find the green one. And things like that. And then we have Riley. He's an atheist. He has some troubles with his life, and he even has a moment with the priest where he basically tells him why he's an atheist. And I think that that was such a really good scene because it's something that when you hear it is very true. It's a really real reason why people stop believing. Regardless of maybe your beliefs, I think that this one is a really good way to see different types of beliefs inside the same church. We have a couple that they blindly believe anything that the priest or God shows to them and says, and we have others that they come and go, so they have like one foot on the church and the other one like not. And the type of people that they don't attend every single Sunday, you know, that they are not regulars. And also there's even a point where the priest is like, you should come every Sunday, not just on Sundays. And you know, that type of sermon that they give at church a lot. Probably something that if you have lived in a religious family or something, you're going to probably have heard that before. Now, in general, I think that the whole cast did an amazing job, but I think that Hamish Lancaster, that is Father Paul, that is actually the name of the priest, I think that he did an outstanding job. Like seriously, that man deserves an award for this. I am no exaggerating or kidding. Like seriously, he did such an amazing job. Now, this story has a plot twist, of course, right in the middle. There's 7 episodes, and I would say that by the middle is when it starts to get really creepy, and also the plot twist. You don't see it coming. Now, something that I really like it about this series is that it's not predictable by any means. Like I said, I was expecting a whole different thing, and the reality is that as the story moves forward, still I was expecting something completely different. I am not complaining, that the reality is that it was a surprise and it was brilliant. I mean, the ending is really shocking because it's not something that you really expect. Also, each episode are quite long and they're heavier, and by that I mean that it's not the type of series that you want to sit down and like watch it and that's it. No, you have to sit down and really pay attention because it's a type of series that is going to leave you thinking. Like, it's horror, but at the same time has such a good, well script that seriously it leaves you like, whoa. And also it's really impressive. Now, each episode is at least 1 hour long. So although there are 7 episodes, it's going to take you maybe a little bit longer to watch it than other series that could be the same amount of episodes, but they're shorter, if you understand what I'm saying. But still totally worth it. Now, each episode, basically, the ending leaves you wanting more, which is something that is good. Because the series, the reality is that it doesn't really have up and down. I think that it goes straight up. Seriously, each episode gets better. The first one is a little bit slower. The reality is that it's a little bit on the slow burn side, but not in a bad way. But the first one, of course, since it's the introduction of the characters, of the place, of the setting, what you can expect, I don't really bother that the first episodes can be a little bit slower and ending on a huge thing that is going to leave you wanting more. That's pretty common. So don't expect the first episode to be like really intense. Like it's just a show and a glance of the characters, what their lives kind of look like, of course, on the outside, maybe some of the experience that they have been having, and things like that, and why they're like that. Now, something also that I want to talk is the soundtrack. I think that they did an amazing selection with the soundtrack. It fits really well, the scenes, the mood, everything. Like for me, this series is brilliant, it's excellent, well made, spectacular, beautiful. Like for me, this is a 10 out of 10. Like yeah, this is a 10 out of 10. I have no bad things to say about this one. The reality is that I have not. The acting is good, the story, the plot twist, everything. Like Mike Flanagan really threw the house out of the window with this one. Such a good one. Like I was trusting him. Like my expectations for this one were really high because of how good Haunting of Hill House and Blind Manor have been already. So he didn't disappoint on this one. And basically, I think that that's it. Of course, if this were with spoilers, I could be talking maybe half an hour, but I don't want to give you the spoilers because I really want you to sit down and you watch it and feel impressed by yourself, not because I told you about it. So, and basically, this is it. This has probably been one of my few spoiler-free reviews here because I felt like I need to give spoilers in order to give my full opinion, but here I find my way. I'm not giving spoilers, so I'm impressed on that side of me. But well, this is all for the video. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know in the comments, have you watched it? Haven't already? Are you on the half? What you thought? Did you like it? You didn't? You know, we can always share your opinions in the comments. And I'm going to see you guys on the next one. Bye.